Thanks for tuning in to your favorite content creator, UTV. To find out more, follow us on our social media platforms: YouTube UTV124, Facebook UTV124, Instagram UTV124, Twitch UTV124, TikTok UTV_124, and Flow TV channel 124. Remember, UTV, TV for you.
I can't
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the show. It is July 21st, Wednesday. Welcome to the show once again. Yesterday we were out on the ground. It's okay now being back, but I really like being outside when we're outside. For those of you always joined in, listening to us on our radio partner station, that is Hits FM. 92.1 and 91.1. Thank you very much for joining us. If you are also watching us on television on channel 124 on Flow, thank you for that as well, and good morning to you. And so far I hope the day has been treating you well, and we cannot forget those of you watching us on different social media platforms. We appreciate it as always on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, all of it. Thank you very, very much. Like I said, like I always say, there's so much to get into. But before we do that, okay? I take a taste. I like it. Us being outside having the conversation. So before we get into anything, let me just let you know that we will be in Groseley tomorrow doing much of the same thing. We've been in Ancillary, in Denry South, in Soufre. By the way, hi Miss Lucy and all of you by Timam outside and just watching this show. Thank you so much for yesterday. I really do appreciate it. But for those of you in Groseley, we are going to be here with you so that you can be the co-hosts of the show, and let us know what's going on, the different issues. I know there are a lot. It has been my absolute pleasure talking with people, some with the wildest personalities, the funniest people that I have met. I truly, truly appreciate it. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. But as we're here now, let's get into business. We know that there are the rallies and the campaigns that have been ongoing. And in particular, it's going to be an interesting seat with Castries Central. Sarah. Let's listen to what Sarah has planned for Castries Central.
Sarah Flood-Bobre still remains hopeful to beat her opponent, Richard Frederick.
I'm really pleased to offer myself to the people of Castries Central again in this my fourth general election, and this time I promised the people of Castries Central. In 2016 I promised I'd give you my best if you vote for me. This time I promised I'll give you my very best.
Sarah Flood-Bobre still remains hopeful to beat her opponent, Richard Frederick.
I'm really pleased to offer myself to the people of Castries Central again in this my fourth general election, and this time I promised the people of Castries Central. In 2016 I promised I'd give you my best if you vote for me. This time I promised I'll give you my very best.
I think we had to play it twice because I think it was just so pathetic. And I know Sarah is a lawyer and, she's supposed to be well read. People put a mic in your face and they're asking you, what are they to expect? What can you do for the constituency? And you're going to tell people you tried your best, but then you're going to give your very best? I mean, preschoolers don't come and say that. People doing students' council don't say these things. You're running for a seat in the middle of the city. Oh, God, Sarah, do better than that. Now, we know that with Sarah and her passport covers being sold within a government ministry. It's clear conflict of interest. I don't think that should ever happen, but hey, we allowed it. And you know what happens when these things go on unchecked? More of those things that aren't supposed to happen continue to happen. We saw yesterday, I can't say yesterday the same way without Gail's voice in my head. Last night, Sarah, who I've seen talk to people and say this is not a carnival, and you know, this is when they were doing nomination day, this is something that they need to be taking seriously. Last night though, more of Sarah's personality is showing, because her people were again using government property to do political things for their own political and personal gain. Let's take a look. So as you can see, the Labor Department Labor Department space is being used for political campaigning. I know that they had their little motorcade or whatever they were trying to do there, but I just again feel that it's not right when we continue to, you know, the lines of what's supposed to be politics and what's supposed to be for governmental space, governmental office, state agencies are being used in that way, Sarah. And from the very beginning, you've done that. If this is your best or your very best on Nipot Saia, please do better. It is not working out. It's not working out for me. I do not think many people who do not have the opportunity to use government spaces for their own personal gain can continue to do that. And I think it is time that we put an end to people who feel that they can use state agencies where our taxpayers' money being used for their political gain. Sarah, okay, I finished if you're ready. I feel, though, that in another constituency, I don't think we hear much about it apart from what we see from the Miku South representative, the Prime Minister, Alan Shastri. But I think there's something going on down there where people, it's a very strange thing because we know the history of it. It's most predominantly a United Workers' Party seat. But something strange is going on where I find people to be inexplicably happy. Like, why are you happy, Sir? Why are you happy over there? What are you guys that will make you all, you know, happy and at the bars and celebrating? That's the word. People, St. Lucia Labour Party supporters in particular, are in a celebratory mood, and I do not understand why that is. But I am confused a little bit, but I want you to see for yourself what it looks like down there. And I've been to different places. Like I said, you've seen me speaking to different people. But in Miku South, why are you so happy? What is going on? But I think in that way, with whatever's going on in Miku South, people do have their own reasons, their own experiences. And I think, like we always do, people let people speak their truth in whatever way they can. And I wanted to do that. So the question was, what is happening, what are you feeling, why exactly are you guys so happy? So I wanted them to speak to you guys themselves, and this is what they had to say.
The people of St. Lucia, it's just not Miku North or Miku South. We're talking about sustainable and initiative projects coming down in our constituencies to give the poor people, the people of St. Lucia, a chance to live a life at the same level of a politician in terms of, the Prime Minister. These roads, the schools, okay? The health institutions, these are mandatory projects, okay? This is obligatory. Where are the initiative projects to show that we, the people you care about? You understand? We want a change. The corruption in there. That's why I'm flying that flag right now. The patriotic flag. You understand? The blue flag. He came out at the right time and exposed what is going on in there. The corruption in there. You understand? And I stand firm. I'm voting Miku North, but I want to see the country vote out that government. Give the man of a soil a chance. Give him a chance. You understand? What about our fishers? What about our fishers? What about our farmers? You understand? What about we that try to stress ourselves to live a life? I want to say something to St. Lucia. Vote in the best interest of the people. Vote in the best interest of the youth that's coming up. I don't want to be disrespectful. And do it. Follow your faith. Because St. Lucia is at loggerheads with that administration right now.
Thank you very much, sir.
$1,000. Sokarama, he cannot buy us. Yeah, we don't want him. We want Gibo. Gibo.
Now now they're talking about roads. Roads mandatory. Now one thing you have to understand, from 2016, they're taking $1.50 out every gallon of gas. So thousands of gallons of gas every day selling. Not just that, they're taking tax, fuel tax, vehicle tax, road tax, everything. So at the end of the day, roads is mandatory. So we don't need roads. The roads is good, yeah, but it's mandatory. We're talking about sustainable development.
Initiative projects.
I want the man of the soil to win, to move Shasne on our back. Because I do not want that man. I don't want to see that man. He's a bluffer. He has made so many empty promises and he has not delivered nothing. So I'm telling you, and he's still in corruption, and I want him to go, and he has to go, he will go. I want the man of the soil, Gibo, to be representing us in Miku South. Okay.
Only on Monday. And the fishers and so on. Farmers and fishermen have not done nothing at all. They have done nothing to them.
I generalize it.
Nothing at all. I think he did some work, yes. He did some roads. But what the people from here did work here. It's foreign. These people that come into the road, nobody did work here. So we don't trust anymore.
So why you want Gibo then?
Gibo is the man of the soil. Gibo house is just over there. If we have fire here, Gibo will be right there. Charles living all the way down Castle. Charles, we want Gibo, and Gibo must come in this time around. Charles must go.
Yeah, talking on behalf of my brother, born and raised in the area.
He's your brother?
Yeah.
Biological brother? Who? Your brother self?
Yeah, that's my brother.
Okay.
Biological brother. Talking on behalf of him, born and raised in the country, and I is the best person to represent us right now for Miku South. Real man from the soil, true, kind-hearted, and everybody knows if today or tomorrow we have a problem, we could just go right to him. We don't have to take out boy and put pie. Not at all. Respect for Miku South on behalf of Gibo Ferdinand. That's what I have to say for now. Man.
What was he like growing up with him and stuff like that?
Well, growing up with him was like, I had to be following the rules under him because he's a man with principle. And a man like that can go far. And we wish a man like that to stand for us, like now. On behalf of him, I'm talking.
What you want, what message you want to give other people in Derry to other people in the community?
Well, other people in Derry, I want them to follow and believe in that man. Believe in a man from the soil that could uplift us, that could look out for us and make sure everything goes the right way, not the wrong way. Not to put money in our pocket, but to multiply it and have something for each other. On behalf of Miku South.
Thank you very much, sir. Give me your name, please.
What's that?
Your name.
My name is Howard Emmanuel.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
All right. On behalf of my brother.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks.
All right.
So, like I said, that's what's going on in Miku South, in a seat that, you know, people already know it's a prime minister's seat and everything, but it was just different. And I didn't see, what's his name, Gibo, anywhere around. It was just people coming together and having fun on their own and really with a spirit of celebration. Masam Sayotan, but it's just a very strange thing happening down there. And stranger still, it's not just people who are outwardly St. Labour Party supporters. There are other people too who in that community, in that constituency, despite everything, they do want and they have spoken their truth. And I know maybe I'm saying it a bit too much, but what we find happening is that there are people who are not Labour Party supporters, people who sit at home and they do not call the shows, but they know what they feel, and many of them have stayed silent. I spoke with a young gentleman, he's 28, a young person in Miku South, and he has been a councillor. He was the president of the football club in Miku South called Green Monsters. He's the founder and vice president of Volunteer St. Lucia, the Miku chapter. He notably has been a youth officer, and most importantly, he was the attaché to the Prime Minister in Miku South. So I think he knows exactly what it is to be working with the Prime Minister, to understand the inner workings of what's happening in Miku South. This young man decided to speak with me. He decided to speak on certain issues that he has had. Just so that we understand, he resigned from his post as youth officer and as attaché to the Prime Minister a year ago. But with everything happening, he has decided to speak on certain issues, and the issues range from different things, but I want you to hear it in its entirety. This young man spoke to me in the way that he spoke to me. Let's start. Let's start on what he saw, what he had a problem with in his constituency in doing his work as a councillor and as a youth officer and as the attaché.
I got my job. The people that the two in it, I don't say family, I don't like to say the family because you cannot just put the whole family involved. There's two of them. Thomas James and Margaret Emmanuel. They are our cousins, they're my cousins. I used to hear about them a lot, but I'm a young man, I don't believe in hearsay. I like to know for myself. So I went there, I give the benefit of the doubt, I started working with them like I would normally do with anybody. And then after I saw, like I'll give you an example, I was on council. Council is supposed to be in charge of infrastructure and things in the constituency. I was on council for 2 years. I never saw what road to be done, I never saw about roads were being done, I never saw about the field anything, but things were being done. It came to a point where there was one meeting where Miss Emmanuel, I had to, she was talking to me, I don't know what this attaché doing, whatever, because the thing about her, she didn't hire me. Now she like to be the one in control. So I just came there and all Mr. Shastin hired me and she don't know anything. So I told her about Miss Emmanuel in a council meeting. When you start telling me about the roads that been built on council I don't know about, then I can tell you what I'm doing. Get her things and left council meeting. And even after that, I saw certain things where I understand we cannot never get rid of corruption. We cannot get rid of poverty in the world. That it has been tried before we were even perceived to be born. But at least if we get people that will try, We have 10 contracts, you take that last, that's my opinion, and that's you get 10 contracts, you take one, you give yourself, you give out 9, you give out, people don't really watch you, but when you're taking, you're starving everybody for you and your family. And I had evidence, I threw it away because of I left that when I called Rick when I just left my job and he gave me the advice, I left that alone. So I threw it away. Where there's a road in Deriso where the guy doing the quotation, he had a quotation of 200 feet of road. He sent it for us by accident. 200 feet of road costing the Taiwanese thing $650,000. The road actually 100 feet. What 100 feet of road going? Where it going? I give you an example where Thomas James, where I feel everybody fed us by doing my job. Where I want to do a wall on a fence. If you go by 30 by the field, you see a fence on a wall there. That's my idea of the things on the ground where you feel. I left. That's my idea. I told them, you know what, council got some money. I told the council chairman, I want to do that. Because I believe we played football on the field. We always knocking vehicles. Because I was there from a young boy. I know we knock vehicles, we break glass. I say, we need to put that there. And I spoke to the contract. Before I went to the contractor, the guy, Mr. James, told me, let's go by the field one day because he had money involved. Let's go by the field one day and check out the field. The man came, the man got a pencil. I go and borrow a pencil for him. The man come, the man have his tape in his hand. He needs somebody to hold it. I have to hold it for you. I hold it fine. We measure because it's for my young people of the community. Measure it. Couple of days later, I get in the quotations. One quotation with, let's say, $40,000 with a 10% mine. Second quotation, another $4,000 for work done by the pencil board and the so at that I have somebody not mention his name at all because I have something personal not against him, but this is the most disappointing person I've met in my life. So I'll say I went to the person in charge to get tell him, alright, I got Mr. James to do whatever, here's what they give to me. Tell me I have to pay him. I say, boss, you in charge. How are you making these fellas do what they want? And when people come on to ask you about them, you're telling them you're trying your best to help. There you have to be helping people. Take your stand. You are the one giving out the checks. Why are you making them go around go through you? Tell me, but I say, you know what? Give me the check for $4,000. That he said that's his. Even though I hold a pencil for him because I could say I have $2 grand in that because I hold a pencil, I hold the thing. But I say, you know what? I went and knocked on. Well, I cannot say where it was, but I went and knocked on the door where he was in a house. I say, boss, look here for your job you did. So we left there. Next time I went to a friend of mine. He's a contractor. I tell him, you know what, boss? We have, after I moved the program, we have that amount of money. I know you're from the community, our community, and you're always helping me in anything I do. Next time I do in football, you give me some kisses to do the football. So I said, you know what? I want you to help me do that because I told the situation, I gave him that amount of money. He told me, alright, no problem. He came there. He did the same wall for less money. Plus, you see the things on the ground. That was his product he was trying. He told me, you know what, for his community, doing it for free. He put that there and he put a keystone wall. If you go on the field, you see a keystone wall with different colors going across the field. He brought it for us. From that time, no matter what I asked Mr. James for, the youth, balls, whatever, I couldn't get a dime. I remember asking calling Nicholas John and telling him I want some balls for some guys. They don't ask Thomas they don't have money. Guys that making millions, they don't have balls to give the young fellas. Me fooling. If you have money to give balls for the young fellas, I said, you know what? I wrote National Lottery. If you can go to National Lottery right now, I gave before I left a plan with 20 different ideas. 20. I can give you some of them are inter-constituency quarter, you could say, where each team are coming to have a team and we go everywhere, like they go there so in there so everybody can get a taste of it going around. A talent show where, well, that one was a music talent show where young people could come in, sing, dance, whatever. It's been done before, but I believe it's not happening again. When it comes to the arts and the talents, young people just in the block just dying with their talent and they go into the grave. We're not doing anything to try our best to see who have the talent to help them out, much less even push them forward. Maybe you can get fooled. I can say fooled. I'm not ashamed of anything. Maybe I was fooled. I was blinded because I didn't care about what good. Nicholas John was one incident. Nicholas John is when I went on one occasion to report the same people and all what they were doing when it comes to contracts and all this stuff I saw going on, preferential treatment to Oswald. He told me, I went down to his office, he told me, Tevin, I'll send this guy Nicholas John. I say, boss, Nicholas John is from there, so I see him with the gyms all the time. They know what's going on. He's part of it. When that happened, Nicholas John texted my phone that night. The text still there. I never read it in a long time, but in my memory, it said, "Young man, I heard you come and report these two people. Like, what what I need to, what I gonna do that for, whatever. He never came to aid, he never came to find out what happened. That's his only text. I never responded. I told my friend at the time, you know what, these guys believe because they have money, they can come and tell you anything. That's my constituents, that's my people. My brother, my sister will be walking on the streets. It's not yours. All you do is come here, bring Chasney, be there, get contracts, stifle your money, and you're good. You pass here, and when election time, you spend your money and you figure we should just give you your vote back. Election time, not during the time of the 5 years of election where you should be taking care of us. You don't do that. So in that time he got involved because I reported, and he know at the time like I was going for them, I was going too far. When I report them, who am I? I just joined after 2 years, and it's the ones working in the party for so long.
So Tevin, I think, is speaking and saying what he saw, talking about what goes on with the contracts, what goes on when people put in the padding, what goes on when somebody has to borrow a pencil and use a tape and they'll charge $4,000 for it, but then you also have people who will agree to it and pay it anyway. So if he does have a problem with what he's saying there, he'll go to the people, to the leaders, and they will tell him, you know, just cool out, you're making too much of a problem. And with his resignation a year ago and now speaking to us, I think, you know, you have to ask the question, why were you there for so long? I think it's an important question to ask. And more than that, what did you think with Chasney being the leader of everything there? Why did you stay, and what did you see in him for you to be his attaché in all of those years?
Maybe you can get fooled. I can say fooled. I'm not ashamed of anything. Maybe I was fooled. I was blinded because I didn't care about what good. I didn't know I helped people in the community. I was saying, you know what, boy, maybe Chasney is a good guy and he's getting fooled by these people. That was exactly what I was thinking. Maybe these people are out there and maybe they're fooling Chasney. They're giving them the money and they're supposed to be doing X, Y, and they're not doing it. But after complaining, and I remember the last time I called him, his wife, I said, you know what, Raquel, I'm tired. These people doing whatever. Tell me, talk to my husband. Talk to his husband. Alright, Tevin, alright, we'll do whatever. Nothing keep on happening. People doing it what they want, how they want. And after I left, I do personal things and I don't hold no grudges. I'm a different young man. I tend to control my mind. I go by the sea, I read. I put my mind in a state where I put things in a way that I do not get, what's the word? Well, a lady called me bitter. I don't get bitter.
I tell you, Miku South it's coming out to be very, very interesting. So with all that being done, all that said, what happens when you resign from an office, when you have the favor, when you have the time and the space with the Prime Minister? I found it interesting too when he says that he resigned. What came out of it then?
With that, it was when I was leaving. I couldn't get with Mr. Chasney, so I just WhatsApp Raquel. I told her I'm going to leave. So she told me if I want to meet with you. I told her I made my decision in my life and I think it's okay. I don't do it with anybody like that. She said, what about we'll put you in Ojo? I said, Mrs. Raquel, I don't think you know me like your husband know me, so I believe you should make you like your husband, and because I never met her as a person. I don't know her. We'll put you at Ojo. I said, Raquel, I'm not a pawn. I cannot be. Not because I live in there to put me there and believe it's okay. What I tell you I saw there was wrong. You don't want to do it, you want to shift me here to put me there, which means you know it's wrong. You just want to get rid of me here and put me there because you want to continue what you're doing.
That's his truth. And I think in all of that, you have to ask certain questions of, you know, with Raquel, the Prime Minister's wife, what exactly, how can she just make a space at Ojo Labs to fit in somebody? You can see that, you know, the system, is it supposed to be working that way? And I think it was very powerful when he says, you know, I'm not a pawn. You cannot, because I'm making trouble here, just take me and put me someplace else where you don't have to see me or anything of the sort. People, when you hear young people, and he's 28, to come out there, and he got that job about 5 years ago, so that would make him 23. Impressionable, I imagine, being 23, being young, a youth officer, having the different positions that he had there. We've seen the images of the relationships that he's had with Chasney and with Chasney's wife. So seeing that, it really does put things in perspective for me in how people see young people, and not just young people, but how they see people in general. But it's not my story to tell. It is not my story to tell. Like I said, I'm going to let this air out, let this young man speak in the way that he told me his truth. You're going to hear it as well. So let's hear him speak of the community and what has happened there since Shasni became the rep.
I have never followed politics, but I have never seen something like that in my life. And I don't wish to see it continue. Because like I said, I have a daughter. I don't wish to see these things. Because there's no merit you get anything. It's based on who you know and if you're kissing who's ass and if you know who. For me, that's not what I believe the community should be like. That's why I started all the groups. I started the volunteer group. I was president of that club and I get better to help the young men, because I knew growing up I didn't have these little groups to go into when I had my stress. I didn't have these little things to go and tell somebody, you know what, I go in there on Sunday, if I feeling too stressed, I want to do something myself, I can go there, the group and do whatever. These people don't believe in nothing. If you check in Miku South, there's no community, nothing. Before this club, the football club and the volunteer, they don't care about volunteerism, community, anything. It's strictly the power that they want to get the money, and once they have that, they don't care if nothing. If you try and contest that, or they think you try and contest that, you in the battling, you in the range to get fired. That's all it is. It's about power and money for me. When King resigned, I went down to Castries North. Like I tell you, I'm not a young man, I was born if anything, but I know to get information I have to go direct to the source. I went to meet from Castries North sometime last week to meet King. I didn't get with him. I got his number, I called him, so I didn't get with him. Just for me to know more what he went through, for me to put my final conclusion on Shasni. But what I have right now, with what I have, I believe Shasni is like a rich boy. A rich boy throwing money at his problems. What happened with me and King, I believe, is when you get people that you cannot throw money at, you cannot tell them, look at post, you get free grand, look all my links, and whatever you see, don't care. That's when you'll come into conflict. Now, the problem I see is few people are like that. Most people you throw money at in the society, especially in our societies, they will jump at it, hop at it. Right now, Shasni is, what he has is the money and that's what the people need. So we'll come to Miku South right now and give. And not to support the young people, but they've never, when asking James was, they never got that kind of attention. Because election coming, Flabo used to win here without a man couldn't give them anything. Because they just know the Flabo. Now, now, a man coming, they don't care about, they don't watch the news radio to care about what's going on nationally. A man coming and give them XYZ, they will be affected to him. That's why I will try my best to see right now something the truth right now. Because I believe if I have something to do to move off my chest to say, alright, I could tell a young man the truth. And if they believe they voted because I was, then I helped them. I had a decision to make, I made it, and I believe with the information I have now, I will not vote for Shasni. If I have to go there, so I don't want to go there, so I don't see who to vote for. But what I believe is if I see a problem in front of me, like people will tell me that both sides have. My point is, if I'll give you a scenario, if she's in one house with a guy beating her every day, there's another house and she likes that guy too, but the guy would tell her, people will tell her that guy will beat you too. What scenario, what option would she have to stay in the house where she knows she's in her ass beating every day? Rather than go try over there. If you get beaten there too, you're gonna leave. You try there, you leave and you go to find out, go and get your green pastures, whatever it is, but you know you tried. So for me, what I saw is what I saw. I cannot face what I don't know. I wasn't following politics when SLP was in power. So I cannot tell you, and Mr. Fernandez is first time, I cannot tell you Mr. Fernandez is a corrupt, he's a this, he's a that. But I can tell you what I know now. Shasni, you see right now, and his Miku South, our people in Miku South are working for him. They are nothing good. And I do have, maybe I'm different, maybe, and I like my girlfriend, young people can talk for themselves. I am not from upper class or whatever, but I believe in mind, soul and body, in courage. My courage will come from what I have. I don't believe in if I have money to come and talk, or come and talk on behalf of people when I have. I talk now. I don't know when I'll go, I don't know what I'll do. I follow what I want to follow now. And like I say, the most somebody can do is kill me.
I mean, again, some very powerful words there from this young man. And with all of what has been said there, that he has been seeing, you know, the way contracts are being given, mentioning Nicholas John, saying that there has been nothing being given to Miku South people, even when they ask, people try to shut them up, giving them another job, all of that we have seen there. And I wondered, okay, so you resigned a year ago. You've been quiet about it for all this time. Why are you coming out now? And not just that, why are you doing this, you know, a few days before elections in Miku South with all of the power that he just mentioned? And there are very powerful people that already probably don't like him and all of what we're seeing here. Why are you doing that? And aren't you afraid? Aren't you afraid of the repercussions of coming out like that in this time? And again, let's hear what this young man had to say about that.
Into this election, seeing certain people I know, like I told, there are certain young people I know that during their time, they came and have meetings with me before. Tevin, my minister, I've been checking all the young girls. I work for 4 years, I can get a job. But the good thing is, they didn't lie to me, they told me the truth. They tell me, but when election come, I'll get X amount of money for campaign, I'll take some and I'll do whatever. Now they're on TV, I see they're posting the same ministers, so humble, so good. How can you sell? For me, you have to have a sense of, like, principle. How can you sell yourself knowingly and sell young people knowingly that these people are what they are? Because you get a coin, so you don't have no idea. So, I don't even understand. You have no idea because of my mentality. I believe the Prime Minister now is a man that will say, maybe even after that he'll fight me even more. You say, if I create my business and tell me I need a concession, not give it to me, you'll see, you'll fight me. So what? So what? Like I say, I tell my girlfriend all the time, before I went to Deriso and met Chasney, the Chasney know me. One man that knew me, he's up there. He's taking care of me all my life. So it's not you that wanted to meet me. We met, it happened. You were not in control of that. When these guys believe they're in control because they have the power to buy things, to go places, yes, it's powerful. They don't get sick still. They don't, when they call you the Prime Minister, most times on that island, when you're the Prime Minister, if you don't get called and you get surprised by things, they might go on TV and make it look like, yes, I knew what's happening. But you think they don't know? He's not in control of anything. So if he wants to fight me, I know there are people that are good in St. Lucia. They are not bad people only. There are people that, if you say the truth, that they will see. Those that will tell me, Tevin, you know what? You sell out, you this, you that. I alone know my truth. Like I tell people about King. I never met King. He alone knows his timing. Nobody could tell anybody when it is to resign, when it is not to resign. Were you there? Did you know if I had bills to pay? Did you know what I needed to do at the time when I was still there? But the good thing is, he came out. If he didn't come out, you don't mean worse. You come out and you see what you have to say.
And that is what this young man had to say. And, you know, in all of what is being done, as I say, in this time, people who want to speak, people who think they have something to say, you need to do that. I do believe it is everybody's duty to speak their truth. And I know that there are some young people who feel the same way. I know too. I've had friends who have said to me, the United Workers' Party supporters, and when he mentioned the thing about some people telling him, oh, some of these ministers, young girls alone they like, and you know, they always want something from you and that sort of thing. And then now you see them posting the images and saying, you know, that person is so humble. That one really caught me, and I relate to that completely. We'll take your calls now at 572-7588 and also at 484-7588. Miku South is behaving, I don't know, it's a bit different when you expect certain people to, you know, cower, or people to just exalt the Prime Minister, because we know what it is. You know, it's a flabo seat that day. Something is going on down there, and it is interesting. It is interesting to look at the people who are gaining enough courage to come out in a seat where they wouldn't normally. So for Tevin, I want to tell you thanks for sharing your truth with us. I do hope that others will follow suit. We're seeing some people doing the same thing, coming out and sharing what has been happening. And I think as a young person, you said something, and I think a lot of older people, everyone should know that you know, if you are a Christian, to know that God is in control. And the way that you're speaking, you know, in that sense, you know, where there's courage in what you're saying, knowing that you're going to get people, you're going to get the backlash. Just by me playing this on the show, I expect you to get the calls and everything else. But this is what we're seeing. This is what we're hearing from someone who has been close to the Prime Minister, literally attaché to the Prime Minister, telling us that he does not care. Let's take the call. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, miss.
Hi, Trisha.
Good, hi. How are you?
Trisha, if people believe that this election is a joke, it's not a joke. And if we are seeing that kind of thing from Miku, I am telling you, people are thinking, people are analyzing, people are adding, they are multiplying. And I'm telling you, it is not a joke. We have to come out and vote in large numbers. I have an 18-year-old daughter. She turned 18 and she's going to the polls. I am dragging her from 5:30. We are going to vote. This is her first time. Her dad and myself, we are taking her to vote. This is serious shit going on there. And people believe it's a joke. It's not a joke. Because I'm telling you, Trisha, if Shasney could have removed all these black men and women in government, remove them and put white men, the whole thing white men, he would have done it. It is not a joke what is going on there. We have to be serious. We have to come out. We have to be patient. It does not matter if we have to wait on the line for 6 hours. We are waiting. I am leaving my house 5:30 and I don't care. The line could be from here. I am voting in Corinth. The line could be from here to reach Morgan Bay. I am standing on this line with my husband and my daughter and we are voting this man out. It is serious. If he can remove those men on this in this government, he will remove them and just paint the whole thing in white. It is not a joke. It is not a joke. My daughter is 18 years and my daughter now she has to go to university. It is not a joke. This is not a joke. And people, St. Lucians, wake up. Wake up. We have to come out and vote. We have to vote like Michelle Obama said, like our lives depend on it.
Because
our country depends on it.
Because
we have to get out and vote, people. That is the first time in my life I have voted twice before, and that is the first time in my life I am so passionate about a vote. And I take that so seriously. We have to get out and vote. We have to vote like as if we crazy going voting. And we have to look at everything. We have to look at the paper properly to make sure that what we're doing is the right thing. People, no mistakes, no spoiled ballots. People, we have to vote. Let us vote and vote and vote. Thank you, Trisha. Have a wonderful day. And oh my God, you're beautiful.
Thank you very much, Cole. I appreciate it, and I appreciate your passion, and I do hope that on the day you take your daughter with you and you make it a family affair. Thank you for doing that, and I do encourage all people to vote as well. Exercise your right to do so. And for the young people in particular, I think Shasney and the rest of them, we see what they're doing and using the scare tactics and using raffles to go to Barbados and giving the rum as if that's what we're worth. And, you know, they'll give a little, put people in trucks and you can wind behind a truck and go on the road. And with the last ad they had about the young fella saying, Gassa, the man have vibe, the man have vibe, the man come in and check us when they have to rain, you know. This is how they see us. This is how they see us. But young people cannot let that fool them. You need to have more worth for yourself. And I think this young man, in realizing that he pabola and he left, even though it might have taken him some time, because I guess he's impressionable and whatever else, but I put in no words in the man's mouth. You heard his own story that he left and the reasons why. Let's take the other call. Good morning.
Good morning, Tresha.
Good morning, sir.
There have been, for the last couple of days, in America they call it the October surprise. In St. Lucia, I believe is the week, call it the week of surprise. So, the week surprise. So you have a lot of people making the wrongs. And a lot of people are asking the question, why now? And I just cannot believe that some talk show hosts asking the question, why now? These people are making the wrongs and don't understand it's politics. And politics is strategy. There are strategy that people imply and you apply in politics. Rufus Bowski. If, was it one name? Dr. Preville. If, was the guy you just said, in Kevin. If the KKR. On all these people had said what they had to say about probably about a year ago, 2 years ago, by now, I don't even think that would have any political value. What they're doing, you know what? It's about timing. And I'm telling you what I know at this, in the 8th day leading up to election. So then, the fact that I know what was there and what is there, I'm sharing it with you now so you will not forget. And it's up to you to go and make your decision. So it is called political strategy. And that is why, that's all over the world. And I don't know why people want to condemn these people and ask the question, why now? I would hate to see, and if you watch it and you relate it to human behavior in relationships, the man or the woman may hit you at the last moment when it hurts the most. Isn't that correct? So it is about strategy, my sister, and it's about timing in all of these matters. But when it comes to this voting, I normally, throughout the years, I've been voting. You will find me almost the last person to vote. I always go and vote about 5 to 6 or 10 to 6. This time, I'm not taking a chance. I've been checking my pressure, checking my sugar, checking everything, watch my movement, because it's important that I vote for my children, my grandchildren, and for the larger St. Lucia. What that is there needs a change, and I'm voting for the better of this country.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you for your contribution. The lines are still open at 572-7588 and also via WhatsApp at 484-7588. And like I said, we are seeing that the United Workers' Party, they're placing their energy in the youth, giving them what they think they want. I don't know if they know the farmers and the fishermen and the public sector workers. Nobody wants to see them because of how they've been treated, but maybe the young people will be vague-laid. And for the last caller who mentioned, she's taking her daughter out to vote, I think parents need to do the same thing. At least let them know the facts, let them know what's going on, let them know that they have to exercise their right to vote. So for that lady who called, thank you very much for calling, and I would implore other parents to do the same, to do that with their children who are voting age. So let's take our other call. Good morning. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Tresha.
Good morning, sir.
First of all, I want to pick up this young man, Mr. Tevin Prudhomme, for coming out even at this time and speaking boldly. Yeah. And that constituency is a constituency dear to my heart. That is where mother's relatives are from. And so I'm happy to see at least there is a certain amount of recognition now by young people, perhaps even by some of the older people, that they need to think seriously about the issues that affect their lives. Having said that, I want to say that we have seen a new low and unprecedented barrage of personal attacks by candidates of the United Workers' Party on those who have come out to challenge them. Like cornered hitting out. They are attempting to derail us and shift our focus from the real issues. Now, however, we must not lose focus of the real issues. They are now making unbelievable promises about national health insurance in 100 days after being elected. That is elected. This is the same health insurance that after a full 3 years in government and the promises that they made last elections, they refused to answer questions about. I remember how Alan Chasney disrespectfully treated Janika Simon when she sought to get a response on this. Now they will give us a national health insurance in 100 days. Something that is so complex, like a national health insurance.
Nobody can figure it out. Not the NHS in UK, not the Obamacare.
So many issues in 100 days. Look, who are they fooling? And we have no evidence that they have done any serious work in this regard. Let us not be duped by the litany of points and promises in their manifesto. Let us not be duped, my people, by a Chasney regime who have an enviable distinction of not achieving even 20% of what they had promised us in their last manifesto. Let us remain focused on all the burning issues. Let us not be sidetracked by attacks on people. The same people who were their buddies and who were the best people, now they want to wash all dirty linen in public, things that may or may not be true about the people. These are not what the issues are about.
Thank you very much, sir.
So people, let us not be sidetracked. The SLP has a program to address these, and successive SLP governments have proven that they are committed to the fulfillment of the undertakings they give the electorate. Now, no group of people, men or women, no group is perfect. We will fall short, but I think the St. Lucia Labour Party and people like Philip Pierre have always tried to do it. I saw Dr. Kenny Anthony try to do it in their last government, St. Lucians, right? We should not be sidelined. Now, this is not about...
Call very quickly. I think we have another call on hold.
I simply want to say this is not just about Etoile or Flambeau. Stop this, Begleyo. It is about all of us. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Of course. Thank you very much for calling, sir. Let's take the other one that's been on hold for a while. Thank you for your patience, caller. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Hi.
Yeah, you know, I stayed and listened to this young man, Tevin, in his deliberation and expressing himself. I think you made a statement that the youth might be blinded by what these men are doing. I do not think so.
You don't think so?
When I look at a young man like Tevin coming out and saying what he is saying, I think he speaks for all the youth. And St. Lucia, what I was afraid of is that the people of Miku would not have seen, or Miku South for that matter, would not have seen the situation. And if that it will be proven true or false in this election that you would put up a dog in Miku South and they would vote the UWP. That is going to be proven in this election, whether that is so. Because with all of the scandals, with all of the situations that has been expressed through the media and otherwise, I think now people are buying into the understanding of what is really going on in government. And I do not believe that governance had been bad in St. Lucia, that bad that you know, people would have been swung out of voting. But today what you're seeing is that it is so terrible, you know, that, you know, people cannot buy into it anymore. They cannot accept it anymore. It is too much. It has gone too far. And the distance that it has gone is not, I don't think it's because of the past governments, because they have held true to the Constitution. What we have today is a gentleman who, and I don't know if I should use the term gentleman, but a man who seeks to go contrary to the Constitution or to test the Constitution to its limits. And that is criminal, because if you are going to test the Constitution because there's no penalty indicated, it means that you are a criminal. And what it does, it has a ripple effect that criminals will believe that they can test the law as far as they can go. And so today you're seeing the brazen robberies in the city, and throughout the length and breadth of St. Lucia, people are being challenged for their own money. You know, walking into stores and abusing, you know, the cashiers that they meet there, the customers that they meet there. I hear people saying it's a new law. This is not a law. We have gone past law, And so the fact that the Prime Minister does not observe the Constitution and the principles that hold, as far as I'm concerned, if you're going to call an election is going to call, and you're going to put protocols in place to get that facilitated. But now I'm hearing that people in quarantine may not have the opportunity to vote. No, it is the democratic right of every St. Lucian to vote. And you have to put mechanisms in place to allow them to express that democratic right. And once you are not going to allow them to express that democratic right, it is called voter suppression. It is criminal. And I want people to understand these situations. Now, we may not, I want to be quick, we may not see the fulfillment of it today, but in the future, we will see the fulfillment of it, where we will avoid having voter suppression. But it is a very dangerous precedent that is being set by the Prime Minister, and he needs to be called out on it. I want to praise Tevin for what he has done, for calling out, and as a youth, that he can express that there is still some semblance of morality among the youth in our country today. Thank you very much, Trisha.
Thank you very much, as always, sir. I don't know, you can call it morality, you can call it principle, you can call it what you want. But I think when I heard it, it gave me, faith again. I wouldn't lie to you. With all of what you're seeing and the corruption, and you wondering when will it stop? When is enough for the people that are stealing our taxpayers' money, the people that have the conflict of interest? They from amun more. It just doesn't seem to end, and it's disgusting what we're seeing, and it's just brazen and out there. But when you have a young person who actually comes out, and I'm telling you, this must be a very difficult thing to do, especially from where he's from, the time that it is, and all of that, to say, you know what, there are some people out there who can stand for right. And I want all of us to, you don't have to come out if you don't want to, but in your heart, you know what's right, you know what's wrong, you know what you feel, and you know when you're doing something and it's just not right, and not sitting well with your soul. Thank you, Tevin, for letting me see that, there are people out there, young people, who are willing to do the right thing, I think. Give me some hope again, Let's take the other call. Good morning.
Morning, Trisha.
Yes.
Yes. I wanted to call you. I was having a little problem in hearing, but I wanted to call you the way Shastley called St. Lucians. My flabo. But anyway, Trisha, it was very nice to see you in Soufre yesterday. You finally got to meet your caller who makes you blush when you see him, when he calls you.
Yeah. Welcome who are still out, have to make a place in Soufre and stay there. Yeah, go on, caller.
Happy people. If I just have him deliver, I can really play do that.
Talk to me, caller.
Anyway, Trisha, they say that I don't live in the country. I'm always under the lights. But let me tell you, winning the election in St. Lucia, I'm not going to say it's not going to harm me. No way. I am still St. Lucian. I am still a part of my country, regardless. I don't live there, Trisha. I always want to see what is good for my country. I know what is politics. I know what it is to see politicians speak, politics deliver to people. Now we are living in a very, very, very small world, I will say, through so many means of communication. So when people want to chastise us and say we don't live there, but it would be nice for them to hear the Prime Minister say, after a hurricane, let us face the diaspora. The very diaspora, they say that don't live in St. Lucia. They are not on island. They are still into this very same diaspora, these very same people for help. We contribute to our economy, to the economy of St. Lucia. And we do it with pride, Trisha. There are some of them, they live here, they live in this country, they are collecting government taxes, they are collecting government stimulus. They have all kinds of help, Trisha. Imagine if your child go to school and there is a COVID case in the school, Trisha. There is a COVID case. Your child may not have it, but there is just a case. Trisha, you get a phone call that tell you your child needs to stay home. And by the time you reach home, there is another phone call that will tell you, choose the hotel of your choice. You don't have a choice. The food will come to you. the nurse will come to you and you will see the nurse, Trisha. They will tell you that you want a lawyer's letter because guess what? You cannot be discriminated against by your landlord. Trisha, they give you all kinds of things. And there are people in this country, St. Lucians, who live in the diaspora, who get these things. Still, Trisha, they will enjoy it, but jump on a plane and go and vote for a prime minister, for a government that is going to oppress the people that cannot get it. This is very wicked of these people, Trisha. And I am very upset about it. When I hear people say, oh, hot pavé travail, oh, I'm a Shafnik, and you all there calling him uncle. But you all are enjoying these very same liberties that you all are voting for, the liberties that they are oppressing the people of St. Lucia with. But you all are here and you all are enjoying it. We are St. Lucians. I am not living in the country, but I'm a St. Lucian. I'm going to support my people being treated better. I am going to continue speaking on their behalf. I'm going to continue calling for better treatment for them because I have family in this country. In that island called St. Lucia, that's where I am from. I am glad that we have a person in Lady, not Auntie, Lady Emma Hippolyte, that will restore some pride. The Prime Minister raised $200 million in a telephone. His ICP, she's still important ICP. Lady Emma raised $95,000 for the people of Super during COVID times. We saw exactly what she did with it. She did not even decide, well, you know what, I'm going to do it for Labour. She did it for Super, whether you are Labour or Flambeau or green or yellow or blue. She gave everybody. When she was not satisfied with it, she went back and she raised another $23,000 for the single men, for men who are not working, to help them. What did the LWP give to them again? It was their friends they were looking after. This is a lady who cares for the people. She puts people first. She don't have to do what she's doing there. Everybody wanted to go retire. Lady Emma don't have to be doing what she's doing there, you know. She's pretty okay. She's pretty fine. But guess what? She is doing it for the people. And I thank you for people.
Thank you very
much. Don't be left out. Don't stop on the train. Get on board.
Thank you very much,
Lady Emma.
I think we're over time. I want to say thank you. I appreciate the contribution. You are our last caller. We are over time, but I do hope that you'll call tomorrow. No, tomorrow we'll be in Grosley, which reminds me.
Yes, I will.
Okay, so you
can to tell the people the X, it must cross. I'm not hearing you tell you when you go to vote, the X, whether it's a plus or an X, the lines must for the votes to be valid. Let them know that.
Thank you very much, caller. Okay, everyone, that was the show. I will see you guys in Grosley. We will be on the ground talking to different people on the issues that they are facing. But with what we had in the show today, I just wanted to again say that it is time for people who want to be on the right side of history. You know, the time will come for you to make that choice. And once again, I want to thank the people who call me and they don't want to be known, the people who let me know what's going on with them, their experiences and everything else. And in particular, Kevin, it was interesting speaking with you. And I do hope that you're doing okay. I don't know what it'll be like now that your truth has been told, but we'll see. I guess we'll see. And as for Miku South, I await. I don't know what's going on there, but it will be interesting. And what I have seen so far, it is indeed a very strange thing for me to see so much exuberance in that place and all of the other things where people come to you and let you know what's really going on down there and the neglect that they face from a prime minister who only uses them as a seat that was the easiest piece of again, PS lot kote sufoye te bali yokalot. Ipade sa ale PS kote okose laiti tuive itevle westi. So that's where we're at. We'll see what St. Lucia thinks and whether they want to be on the right side of history. That's the show. I want to thank all of you and I hope to see you guys tomorrow at 11. Until I do see you though, have a good one.
I can't stay.